Good morning, friends. The birthday of Confucius is being celebrated on the 28th day of September. The period of Confucius is known to be between 551 and 479 BCE. Confucius was a Chinese philosopher, political theorist, ethicist, sage, and the first and most famous teacher in China. He is considered a model of Chinese sages. His birthday is a day of great memory too. Confucius was born in a place called Zhou in the modern province of Shandong. His original name in the Chinese language Mandarin is Kong Qiu. He was called Kong Fuzi, meaning Master Kong. Confucius was the name Latinized by Jesuit missionaries in the late 16th century. Confucius started teaching at the age of 30. He had more than 3,000 students in total. Over 70 of them were outstanding. His disciples were of various backgrounds, both nobles and commoners. He believed that loyalty to principle was more important than individual acumen. He taught them history, poetry, rites, and ethical principles. He set up ethical, moral, and social standards that formed the basis of a way of life known as Confucianism. There is a tradition of attributing Chinese classic texts to Confucius. Well, all the 5 classics, by way of authoring or editing, although modern scholars are not very sure of it. Analects is a fabulous collection of his sayings. The principles of Confucius are reflected in the Chinese tradition and belief in a very impressive way as well as in diverse proportions. The genealogical line of Confucius, the Kongs, has been recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest family tree in history, containing the names of more than 2 million descendants. This is according to the latest edition of the Confucius genealogy book published in 2009. With over 83 generations, his family tree has a great cultural, social, and ethical significance. Translations of the works of Confucius done by Jesuit missionaries are very much studied by Asian countries, Korea, Japan, and Vietnam, in addition to China. The descendants of Confucius were identified and honored by successive imperial governments in China with the titles of nobility and posts. There are several temples and museums erected in the name of Confucius as well. The conceptual framework of Confucian ethics has 3 aspects. 1. Ceremonies associated with the sacrifice to ancestors and deities of various types. 2. Social and political institutions. And 3. The etiquette of daily behavior. Commitment to build the ideal society is the ultimate purpose of the ethical outline. Confucius presents a 3-sided ethical module, I, E, and Ren. I promoted ideals like filial piety, good faith and loyalty. These ideals guided public expectations like loyalty to superiors and respect for elders in the community. EYI involves moral disposition to do good along with intuition and sensibility to do so competently. REN meant humaneness, humanity, goodness, benevolence, love and the like. This as the foundational virtue refers to the bearing and behavior of a human being in favor of a flourishing community. According to Confucius, music is the harmonization of heaven and earth. Rites compile the order of heaven and earth. The application of music in rites helps society prosper. Besides, poetry stimulates the mind, facilitates meditation, cultures emotions, and makes one sociable and settled in life. Music, poetry, and art facilitate harmonizing human nature to the realities of life. The philosophical teachings of Confucius underlined personal and governmental morality, correctness of social relationships, justice, kindness and sincerity. Everyday life is the arena of religion. Besides, he wanted to make education broadly available. He was committed to establishing education as a vocation rather than a mere profession. Confucius advocated the principle of reciprocity. Do not do unto others what you do not want done to yourself. Though negatively phrased, it's a great principle for social ethics and is considered the silver rule of life. He recommended family as the basis of ideal government. He highlighted family loyalty by way of ancestor veneration, respect of elders, and respect of husbands. Confucius worked in the political sector in the imperial traditions as governor of a town and minister of crime. His political thought is based on ethical thought. He was against violent revolution. He called for proper conduct and righteousness as an official. According to him, a government officer should have foresight, practical political ability, and sight into human character. The best government is the one that rules by people's natural morality. People have to be led by a sense of propriety and they will be good. When led by laws and punishment, people would lose the sense of shame and they may continue to be bad. Internalization of duty would mean punishment precedes the evil action and not follow as in legal system. There has to be trustworthy officials. That's what Confucius argued for. In the wake of division, chaos, and endless wars, he proposed the mandate of heaven that could unify the world in view of peace and prosperity. He was a proponent of earlier times when society was more ordered with personal and social perfections. He was in favor of ruling by example or action. He said, if you lead correctly, orders by force or punishment are not necessary. Reform has to be achieved by persuasion than by violence. Confucianism is less a religion than a secular morality. He argued for good situational ethics and righteousness. According to him, pursuing one's self-interest is not necessarily bad, but one would be a better and more righteous person if one follows a path that is designed to enhance greater good. Doing the right thing for the right reason has to be the goal. He valued empathy and understanding for others rather than divinely oriented rules. In the wake of a heavy deficit of conscience, character, and values prevailing in India and world over, the philosophy and teachings of Confucius on applying principles and morals to the details of life is a timely clarion call to action in the right direction. Well, a refresh or restart is urgently called for. A value-based and humane life is more meritorious than religious theories, rituals, and stipulations. On the occasion of Confucius' birthday 2023, on behalf of Institute of Harmony and Peace Studies, New Delhi, I wish to make a strong appeal to the fellow citizens of my country and the world beyond. Let us draw motivation from the great teacher of ethics, Confucius, and abide by ethical and moral principles in life in view of being good citizens and good administrators. May good character and humane behavior prevail all over and always. Hail Confucius. Thank you.